Fine. So there is one more terminology other than the test case, and that is a bigger terminology that is called as test plan. So if you go in the industry and you find as a tester, so you find one important terminology as well to listen, and that is called as a test plan. So we were working on the root level, and that was like creating the test cases. So we done with the various different projects, and we created test cases. Now we also understanding like what do we mean by a test plan. Fine. So basically a test plan is a document which is a detailed document and which is giving the information, giving the approach, giving the complete planning of testing. I would say a kind of software or a kind of machine, not machine, measure as a software or a software product or a web solution. Like what are the various modules or the feature we will be testing, what will be the test design technique, what will be the entry and the exit criteria. After that we will be finishing the test, I will be closing the testing of this product, and what are the various dependencies and risk, and what is the schedule we'll be giving in terms of this testing. So that is creating as a more a test plan. So these are the various I would say these are the basic purpose for creating the test plan document, which is like first of all specifying the approach that testing will be used to test the product, and what will be the exactly the deliverables in this product. This is first one. Then breaking down the product into different kind of distinct areas so that we can identify various features in the products and that we can test. Another is like listing various resources and scheduling various plans, and what are the procedures we're going to use for the sign of the product release, identifying various risks, the various defect management, and the specific criterias on which we'll be accepting as a testing part done for this particular project. Now I'm going to quickly review like how we create the test plan, what are the contents which are involved in the test plan. So these are the various contents which are involved in a test plan. So I'm going to quickly give you idea. And because initially you have I mean earlier we discussed more towards like what are the various testings involved, and that is what it is going to give the idea. So type of test plan, so one is like that is called as master test plan. First of all we create a master test plan. So it's a more a high level test plan for testing system that actually unifies all other type of test plans. And what are the other applies of test plans which are involved here? So we're creating plan for the unit testing, for the integration testing, system testing, acceptance testing, and we also do other types of testing like the after the functional, that is more like the performance testing as well as the security testing. So now what are the contents which are involved in a test plan? So test plan involved like the introduction part. It's like what we are doing, why we are doing, the description of the project, the purpose of completing this testing of this project. So that is one thing. Second is like approach means how we are doing. Is it we doing the automation, we doing with the manual, and we also supporting with the base figures like why we are performing manual testing in this, or and on what various modules we are performing the automation testing and why we are doing that. Then schedules, so here we are also mentioning like by this date or by end date, this will be the starting date, this will be the ending date. By this date we'll be I would say delivering the beta version. By this date we'll be done with the alpha testing and all. So this is like the time plan we are giving for the complete as a product. Resources, so we are giving the requirements, what hardware resources we require, what software resources we require, what is the manpower required. Fine. So this is what the information we are giving here, and the resources in terms of the component. Environment, so environment like we are giving which kind of operating system or various machines we are using. So that is more environment, which is a test environment we are providing information. Test methodology, so we are using the black box testing or gray box testing or white box testing. So more detailing about the system based application, and based on the application we are giving the methodology here. Next will be like requirements and features to be tested. So this is more like listing exactly the features. So if I was giving you some features, like you're testing the login feature, you're testing the searching feature of the user base, you're testing the personal information management module that is also having the employee section that you are testing, then you're testing the training module. So these are the various modules we are trying to enlist. So module wise, module detailed list we're going to test. Fine. So this is represented in the tabular format with use case ID and the SRS ID. It means the software requirement specification ID, test case ID, and that is what we're going to have, the requirement ID and test case ID. You remember you created a defect management report, it was having a defect ID. We also created one, various test cases, those were having test case ID. So just trying to relate, like this is the requirement against this requirement. The first requirement was like we have to test the login module. So this is a requirement. Login functionality needs to be tested. So for that one, we created the test case, and that was like testing the login feature, and that was having a test case ID as a different one. And then that requirement test ID is relating with the test case ID, and both we are keeping here in this like as a complete requirement feature, and these are detailing. Another is like requirements and features that need not to be tested. So that is like the features which we need not to test because complete system is there, but in this particular build or this current solution the functionality is not implemented and we need not to test it. So that is also we are mentioning as a QA lead or as a senior tester guy who is creating the test plan, is giving the roadmap to the team, like these are the features needs to be tested, these are the features not needs to be tested. So this is not needed. Like next one is like the assumption. So like there is a possible assumption we can say, we can take. So that is like the development's test environment will be separate from the QA test environment. Development team release testable software to testing team on schedule. And that is we are keeping like, yeah, test environment is properly configured. We'll be getting all the possible whatever system we are using, that is properly with the same configuration we required. So these are the assumptions we are taking. So this is more giving as a prerequisite or the requirements we are having. So that is we have given here. Risks, yes. So here we mentioned the risk. So that is more towards testing the functionality of the product which is integrated with the third party software. Team is not properly trained on the technology on which the application is built or to be tested. So this is more the QA lead is giving us a risk. So this is a risk we are having. So we are having like 5 resources were working for this software, working for the testing of this software quality assurance, and 1 resources which we have given, 2 resources which we have taken for the automation. The new technology on which they are working, they are not very much familiar, so there is the risk. And then will we see, then we'll be analyzing and one other risk is like meeting the deadlines, meeting the timelines in the shorter period of time. We have to do lots of test cases. And then it is a test exit criteria. Exit criteria means the moment or the conditions on which if they meet, we will decide, okay, the testing for this solution is done. So these are the various test exit criteria, like all test cases are expected, executed, and bugs were fixed to an extent. Test cases completed with certain percentage passed. The project has reached to the end date, and these are the bug faults which has down to a certain level that is we are deciding. So that is what exit criteria for the testing. Then we have one more criteria, that is for the releasing criteria. So we can release the test case, we can release the product. So that we decide based on like all this severe one, I would say the critical critical priority wise the test cases, all are resolved, must be fixed bugs, and high priority bugs are all resolved. So severity 2 problem must have acceptable workarounds and which are documented in release note and readme file. Like these are the issues which is you should do. For example, you find that a lot of some of the websites you find the solutions best works in Netscape this version to that version. So that is as a readme file or a notification they are giving. So these are like if it is not fixed, they are giving more information wise like it is working perfectly with this. So these are like more release criteria we are launching. So if you see, in creating a test plan, which is actually created by a senior guy or a test lead, this is how you are including various fields. So when you're including as objective, then approach you're using, the schedules you are meeting, the deadlines, various resources which are involved, what environment we are gonna use, what are the testing methodology we are going to work. Then we are finding out various requirements or the features which needs to be tested, another like which needs not which need not to be tested. What are the prerequisite or the assumption we are taking? These are the various risks involved in testing. This will be the test exit criteria, and this will be the release criteria. So that is how a complete, I would say, the test plan is created. And test plan is a bigger picture. Fine. So test plan is a complete understanding of the testing of one, I would say, product or a project. And under that, under that, we are creating various test cases. We are involving requirements, and against the requirements, we creating the test cases. And yes, the QA lead or the manager, the QA lead or QA manager will be creating. Why? Because that person is having more experience. So it is not only the case that only a lead guy is going to create, but also a person who is having experience more while working on the various projects he or she has worked, and have better clarity in terms of exit criteria, in terms of release criteria, having better clarity of what resource can come up with, what resource can test these solutions within what schedule or timeline and deadline. So that is how more experienced guy who is working the same part, so that is going to create it. So but I want that you should also have a clarity how the test plans are created, what are the fields which are involved in the test plan. Fine. So I'm not going to give you this as assignment, but I'm giving you more idea. So you should understand what is a test plan, what is involved, what is actually there in the test plan document. And then is more like we have already the HRM what I showed to you, the complete test plan document we have created and given to you. So you will, I mean, you analyze the product, and now you're going to read it out this, you're going to go through this, and you'll be having more clarity and idea like how the test plan for a real project, for a bigger project actually are created. Fine. So that is the reason I initially I started with the project explanation of the project, the test cases you're going to write, and then we are going with the upper level, and that is more like the understanding the test plan. Normally it happens like test plans are created, first of all the test plans are created, the strategies are decided, then the persons which are involved which are decided, the functionalities which we're going to test, those are mentioned in the test plan. And then one resource which is available, or I would say the various resources which are involved in that project, they start working for the actual testing part. Actual testing part means the stuff what you guys are working since weeks, since this last week itself, testing various Gmail or the various the modules which I have asked you to test. So that is you going to work, but this is a more as a complete high level picture before the starting, how you're going to stop the starting, why you're going to keep the criteria for this as exit criteria and all. So that is what I want that you should understand as a bigger picture as well. So this is how the QA leads or the guys who are more experienced in this part will work on the test planning, the, I would say, the plan of the testing. So this is a test plan. Fine. I'm just giving you an idea how this test plan documents are like framed. So this is like a revision history you're having, and these are the various dates. Like the first draft will be on this date, second draft will be on this date, third will be on this, and these are the table of contents. Fine. So this is more towards, you remember I was talking about the objectives, then a scope, what data, file transfer security, the strategies we are going to do. So we're going to perform system testing, performance testing, stress testing, these testing, alpha testing, beta testing, and so on. These are the environment requirements we are having. These are the test schedules we have created, the timeline, the control procedures we're going to give, like the reviews, bug review meetings, change request, defect reporting, functions to be tested. Here we will list all the features which needs to be tested. And these are the deliverables we are having, the exit criteria or the suspension we are having criteria, resumption criteria or dependencies we are having, more towards like these are the dependencies, these are the risks involved, these are the tools we're going to use, these are the documentation we have done, and this is the approvals. So you go through it, you will find this is new payroll system here, this is the scope, file transfer, test strategy. So this is what we're going to do. So for system testing, performance testing, and so on. Environment requirements like data entry. So we'll be requiring 20 IBM compatible PCs with at least this 100 MB. So this 10 GB of hard drive it should be. So then test schedule, we this is the you take this like the test system test we're going to perform on this schedule on this date. This is the beta testing, the UAT testing. These are the control procedures we are having. Functions, these are the various functions we have. You remember I was giving you exactly the function name. These are the function names, functions needs to be tested, and this is we have fetched, this is we have taken as a QA guy has taken from the SRS, like the software requirement specification, which is committed to the client. So like employee information needs to be tested, searching or look up the employee information, escape to return the main menu, security features, scaling to the 700 employee records, error messages, report printing, creation of payroll files, transfer, state tax, and so on. So if you see the list I have given to you, like the login model you have to search, searching existing username that you have to search, adding a user, these are the same you see in the test plan, just like these are written, like add or update employee information, search or look up employee information, escape, come back, and the calculation, then leave, sick leave balance calculation, the same modules which are there in the machine, which are there in the project, HRM project. Fine. Then resources and responsibilities. So these are the resources which are involved in the team. So like the test team will consist project manager, test lead, 5 testers, and like the payroll department manager, because that is guy who is going to involved in this, because the payroll is the more important module of this sample. Then 5 payroll clerks are also involved, and these are the responsibilities one guy is going to actually work. So if you see here, test lead, so test lead guy, he is going to ensure the overall success of the test cycles, and he or she will coordinate weekly meetings and will communicate the testing status of the project team, and is going to participate in various business meetings as well with the managers. You talk about the testers, so responsible for performing the actual system testing. So these, you guys are responsible for more performing the real testing, creating test cases and executing those test cases. So this is the you see deliverables we are having. So this is the tester responsibility, this is what the tester is going to develop the test case. Then test lead, dev lead or testers, they're going to work on the test case review. The testers develop an automation test suite. So these are the various deliverables we're going to get from one person. This is exit criteria. If any defect are found which seriously impact the test progress, the QA manager may choose to suspend testing, and criteria will be justified test suspensions. These are hardware, software is not available at the same time, assigned test resources are not available when needed by the test team, and so on. And various hardware information, schedule, and so on. So this is a kind of test plan document. I would recommend you can keep this, you download this and keep it with you. It will helpful for you when you're going to grow, and when maybe down the line 3 years or 4 years or a couple of years, or maybe for example you join a new company, fine, which is more guys who are not lots of guys are involved, and they may ask you at the I would say second year itself, like, hey, create the test plan for this. So you should be able to understand what are the fields involved in this. So this was a sample document. Here, if you click on test plan template, this is a complete open template. Fine. So there is not having any kind of data for any kind of payroll or any other kind of project which is involved. So that's a complete blank document, but a template. It is having all the possible and required field involved in this. So you click over here and you will be able to download the template. And this is the, I would say, the test plan for the complete HRM. And this is something you should also work. So you see here the purpose, introduction, what we are doing. These are the various modules which are involved. This is a project overview. Fine, these are the test strategy, the system test, performance test, regression test we're going to work. Cross browser test, I was giving you one information like the different browser wise we are testing. So that is cross browser test we have involved in this, include in this testing part. UAT, user acceptance testing. These are the various, I would say, more, I would say, the functional testing criteria, what you have involved. And this is how you're going to include the bug part as a severity, critical or not. These are more information. This is the like test environment. So this is the HRM version. This you're going to work. These are the various web browsers you are going to use for the testing. Internet Explorer with 8, 9 or 10. Firefox this version, Chrome this version or later. These are the various functions you are going to test. So you actually jot down the various functions or the functionalities, we can say. The users are allowed to make changes in the authentication status. So these are more important problems, like the employee status we have given, searching the successfully we have given, allow user to search the system or not. So that is we have given. Schedules we have given like 1 month for requirement analysis, 1 month for test case design and review, 1 month for test execution cycle 1 and test execution cycle 2nd. So this is more like a schedule we have given. Roles and responsibilities, so these are the guys involved. The PM who is involved here, the BA guy is involved here working on this, dev lead is involved, dev team is there, test lead is there, testing team is there, payroll department clerks or department managers who are involved here. These are the deliverables of each person which is here. So this is like more information we have given. So you go through this document. That is something I want. I do not want that you should create it. Just go through with the document completely. It's available. Download this. Keep it with you saved. It'll help in future for sure. I'm very confident in this. So it will be like test plan sample you're having and test plan for the HRM which is available here. So you work on this part, go through these and try to understand what it is written and move towards work on the real part of creating the test cases. So that is how you should grow as with this kind of project and various solutions we are having. Any questions in this? Gazel, do you have any question? So this is, I would say, more a complete the human resource management project. The discussion we done, more we understood as a bigger picture or high level stuff of test planning. The stuff you're having, so you need to go through and you need to understand. So that is something what you have to do. And various test cases you are going to write from your part as well, and you're going to see. So test case, what kind of test cases you're going to create, that is your part. Fine. So that is a test responsibility. So you'll be given a requirement like you have to test the user, the searching module. You have to test the adding employee module. You have to test the add user module. You have to test the I would say leave management or leave module. You have to test various modules. So the supervisor or your senior is going to ask you, the lead guy is going to give you the test. I would say the modules of functionality which needs to be tested. So it is your responsibility to think, analyze, use, and then create based on the software requirement specification or the based on the document or based on the information which is given for as a working of this solution. You have to plan, you have to create the test cases. These are the possible test cases I can create over these are the possible errors which are, I mean, which may come in this solution. So that is how you going to create the problem. You're going to create the testing problem. You're going to create the test case, and then either you or someone else in the team is going to execute those test cases. So there are, I told you, two important activities for a tester: creating a test case and executing a test case. Fine. So here you actually performing and planning and thinking and creating a test case and then executing it. So that is what we are I'm giving to you more as open, I would say, and where you have to work, think, and create the various test cases. Okay, any confusion in this? So you have very clear objective. One is like you are working on the test case part for this project, and second is like you are also going through with the test plan document, trying to read and understand like what test plan is involved. Is it clear, guys? Okay, so we are done for tonight. I have covered lots of stuff, and tomorrow will be like the rest concepts I'll be covering. One of the important and only important concept which is left here, and that will be no, I'm not going to provide the test case name. Initially, I want that you should do. If you're not able to do in tomorrow's class, if you come up with the part like these are the test cases we have created, or we're not able to create any kind of test case, then I will write down from my side and I'll give you the test cases. To be honest, being a tester, it is your responsibility, not responsibility. We can say it's your, I would say, role, and you should able to think and plan the test case names. Fine. So I'm just going to give you the requirements. Like I have a requirement of this module, of this module, and this feature and this feature, and then you have to think what test case you can create. If you're not able to create, I'll write down and exactly give you the names of the test cases which you have to test specifically. But I want more you think yourself, you think and plan, so it will give you better understanding, as well as you'll be able to use your brain and include various test cases, even which what I'm not able to give you right now. You'll be able to think and come up with the plan. So this is how, like, the QLED is going to give you the functionality. These are the modules needs to be tested. So these are the various use needs to be tested. How and what you're going to test is with you. uh, I didn't get it. Okay, videos you will get it. This is recorded. You will definitely get the video. If possible, I'll before hitting the bell itself, I'll try to upload it. I need to convert and upload. So I'll try if possible. Before sleeping itself, I'll try to do it. Okay. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody. Please work on it. We are working on the, yeah, that is only read only part. I need not you to create it. So don't worry, just read it out, try to understand and try to focus and try to get the idea what you create, how you are creating, what are the fields you are involving. Download this test plan template, just keep it with you, save it, and then you can use it. I would say in the future you can use it. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. Two clear objective. One is test cases. Second is test plan, read only part. Work on it, think, plan, and then come up. I have shared you guys are well versed with the process of adding the assignments and doing that, so that you keep doing, and we'll be going through. Tomorrow we'll be working on this, which is very important terminology, which is like the traceability matrices. So this is something we'll be working, and almost everything we have covered from this part. And if required, I'll cover one more topic that is in my mind. I'll let you know tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, and thanks for attending. Have a good night. Bye bye.